You are now tuned in to Heat Check with Ty Slatter and Antonio Turner, right here on GTA Sports Network. Follow GTA Sports Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, GTA Sports. And don't forget GTASportsNet.com for all things in the world of sports. Hello, everyone. This is Ty Slatter.
Antonio Turner.
Ken Squires. GTA Heat Check, NBA Free Agency Edition. Yeah, I literally haven't even touched the other one yet because I'm going to see what happens with this one before I even get to the other one I did earlier because Kevin Durant torpedoed my whole episode today. So let's just go ahead and just start with the elephant in the room. So Kevin Durant demands a trade. I ain't even going to say request. That was a demand. That was a demand. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Literally the day after Kyrie Irving opted into his $36.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get Kenny's take since Kenny's our special guest. I'm gonna let you go first. What do you think happened in that locker room when Kyrie Irving signed that contract? What happened? Did he tell KD, "Look, I'm out of here"? What is it?
I don't think it's any one thing that led to this moment. I just think it's the overall failure of the team. They haven't been successful. Well, they ain't been able to play, whether it's COVID related, and
injury related,
injuries, contract problems, and they front office got people coming in and out, and it's everybody's fault.
Exactly.
It's everybody's fault. But at the same time, when you have, it's part of the reason, but you have to take everything into these considerations. When superstars get fed up, they don't go the way they want to go. They won out. We saw Brian do first, technically in Cleveland. And then KD wanted to go to Golden State, then Harden followed. It's a trend. PG won out of Indiana. So you don't bring the pieces consistently too that fit personally. And then you got, KD, Kyrie, where you want to call them divas or not. This is what they want to get accomplished. They both done. They feel like they can't accomplish what they want. So this is what led to this trade demand.
I like how you brought up the Pacer example. A lot of people didn't know the real full backstory of why he left the Pacers until like a couple years ago when he finally told everybody the name of the player he was trying to get to come to Indiana. A lot of people, the rumors back then was Blake Griffin. Everybody thought that because they knew it was a power forward and it was a superstar power forward at that in the West that they were trying to get to come to the East. And at the time, if you remember, it was Blake Griffin that everybody thought was the guy, right? Because he was a free agent. He was going to end his rookie contract. And he wanted to get out. Come to find out, it was Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So when you bring up the Indiana Pacers example, I'm looking at the Nets and I'm thinking, what was the first domino? And I'm gonna ask you first. What was the first domino that set the Brooklyn Nets up for failure? The first official sign that you said, okay, it's a red flag. Either they're gonna acknowledge it or ignore it and keep going, which is what they did ultimately.
Brooklyn Nets.
What was the first red flag?
For failure?
That's the first sign that you knew the Nets weren't going to be successful with this roster.
What's up?
I know who he gonna say.
You already know what I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
What do you think it is? That's what we got to figure out.
I know who he gonna say.
I don't have I take everything in consideration. I think I think different than a lot of fans because I try to look at the whole picture before I say this was the one domino because people forget, even though they wasn't successful, this team was hard to beat despite a lot of problems. Because it's Kevin Durant, you got Kyrie, you bring Harden. I don't care who you brought into the mix. That team was still hard to beat. In the year Kyrie don't play, they a whole game away. KD plays a whole game. 2 games away, they go 3-2 against Milwaukee. We got Giannis saying they went to game 7.
They went to game 7 that year.
It's hard to say, but I think honestly it might have been a you got to look at the last year. I think this last year per se was where there was Kyrie, Harden, KD. I know there's a lot of beef between Harden and Kyrie, but yeah, but I'm just saying that you got to bring him into it because he's part of it.
He got out of there though.
He's part of it though.
He saw the fire coming.
So far, Kenny's right, but he's missing one key name, and I think Tone knows where I'm going with this.
Go with it.
They shouldn't have hired Steve Nash as the coach.
That's
That was the first domino when we saw. That's why he laughing. When they fired Kenny Atkinson, who was a developmental coach, who got the Brooklyn Nets out of the garbage and made them a 6 seed, gave D'Angelo Russell his first All-Star breakout season. Then KD and Kyrie come in because they see the bubbling, Nets are bubbling. They're not like contenders, but they're like a dark horse, right? They see the potential. They come in, sweep the whole franchise, fire Kenny Atkinson after 1 year, which KD didn't even play for him. KD sat out that whole season, rehabbing. And then Kyrie was in and out. He obviously, taking his 20-plus game vacation, his built-in vacation throughout the regular season. And they bring in a coach with no experience as a coach. As a player, he's got all the experience in the world. But as a coach, he don't know how to be that guy in the locker room.
But unfortunately, that's the direction of the league. You gotta look at it. So a lot of these coaches, whether it was just talk about the last 12 to 13 years, we don't have 3 rookie coaches or 4 rookie coaches win championships.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Exposure technically, even though he didn't win his first year, took with LeBron and them with the first year, no experience outside of being the assistant.
I get that.
First year with the Warriors goes to win.
Okay.
I don't want to bring this up, but Toronto Raptors, the year before they fired Durant,
Nick Nurse came in, yeah.
So it's a move of, even though these are new coaches, and also I really, as much as I don't think Steve Nash was perfect for this team, he was not perfect. At the same time, he was put between a rock and a hard place. You got to coach these superstars while trying to figure out how to coach this
and
team.
Develop the younger players. Yeah.
Steve Nash can't coach KD.
No. Is it more?
I'm not listening to you.
What's your question, Kenny? What's your question?
But is it more, was it KD, or was it more that they never had a full squad continuously? Because unfortunately in the league, it's more about, sorry about that, y'all. Phone acting funny. Sorry. Unfortunately, when it comes to the league, these coaches are always asked to do a lot with a minimal amount of time or roster that they have. Only difference is Steve Nash is getting a little bit more grace than some other coaches.
And a lot of coaches.
A lot more.
Nobody's going to say it. So,
and then James Harden said, "You definitely ain't my coach. I'm listening to him."
So he right. No, he as terrible as that sounds, he's right. The man behind the man was the real coach the whole time. Mike D'Antoni, even though he ain't never won nothing, he's gotten way farther than most of these coaches. You got to give credit where credit is due. The 7 seconds of basketball in Phoenix, the 1 or 2 good years he did in New York with the Knicks. I mean, he wherever he's been, he's always been successful. Rockets, you see how many times they went to the Western Conference Finals, under D'Antoni.
You hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
This phone acting funny. I don't know what led to it. Give me 1 second. This phone acting up. But I'm here though.
Okay. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, that
just by itself.
That Steve Nash actually was put in that position in the first place when there's other coaches that were way more qualified.
Big fact. Absolutely.
Way more qualified. And now you go from, all right, hit the mic. Yeah, there you go.
Check. Apologize for the first time.
Cool. All right. I just want to make sure that sound don't come in, because that'd be hard as hell to try to edit that out. That's more work for me. But
I didn't be back on my phone. So
no, you good. Yeah. I think Steve Nash went into this thinking, okay, I got 2 of what's supposed to be 2 of the top 75 players in the league. Because Kyrie got snubbed for the not taking the jab. We all know that's not even up for discussion nor debate. We all know what that's about. He puts up the numbers. He's in a 50, 40, 90 club, and they snubbed him. Him, Dwight Howard. I can name a few players that should have made that list. But Kyrie Irving definitely should have been on there.
Mm-hmm.
But because of politics and him not repping the brand,
he started himself.
He did it to himself.
It's fault. It's his policy.
It's his fault. Not that it matters. I mean, because I'm not vaccinated, so I'm just gonna I understood what he stood for.
Who take Kyrie over there?
Dame made it over Kyrie in the top 75.
I think
he is the top 75, but they kept him off.
No, he said you took Kyrie out and you put Dame in. He's talking about he was put Kyrie before.
You could have swapped out a few players, but we're not even gonna do that.
It's just tough because
this is not about that. We're not gonna do that.
I know.
This is not about that. When you repping the number 6 Bron jersey from Miami, I know what type of time you want coming in here. So I already know what type of time you want.
Oh no, I can't give people credit, boy. Kyrie not being top 75.
I'm not mad because that's LeBron's best years of his career, hands down in South Beach. There's no argument about that. That's the best Bron we ever gonna get, right? Them 4 years, that was like LeBron going to college to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I felt like coaching wise, being coached, being like learning how to win. I feel like that's what made LeBron IQ go through the roof, was going to Miami for 4 years, doing a 4-year, it's like going to college. He did a 4-year degree, got 2 championships out of it, went back home and made it happen. So I mean, I love what you rep. You rep the best version of LeBron I ever saw.